Have you ever paused to marvel at the quiet strengths still shimmering within? Abilities many assume fade with age? Imagine discovering that everyday tasks completed without fuss are precious markers of vitality few possess. This gentle journey explores 9 extraordinary signs that, when still present after 70, set a person apart as a rare gem. Each sign tells a story of resilience, purpose, and unquenchable zest for living. Recognizing them can kindle hope not just for yourself, but for everyone who witnesses your light. Settle in, breathe deeply, and celebrate the luminous capacities continuing to sparkle throughout your remarkable journey. Walking briskly without pain or support. Picture dawn spilling gold across the curtains as shoes are laced with practiced confidence. The door opens, cool air greets skin, and a steady rhythm of steps taps down the driveway. There is no cane clicking, no anxious survey of pavement cracks. Instead, muscles coordinate like an orchestra. Calves propel, hips swivel, ankles flex, and the heart keeps an eager tempo beneath the ribs. Each stride massages cartilage, strengthens bones, nourishes circulation, and broadcasts a clear message to the brain. Prowess endures. Researchers tracking thousands of older adults have shown that maintaining a pace above 3 miles an hour can nearly halve cardiovascular risk. Numbers may remain unmeasured, yet the body records every victory through easier breathing and a calm pulse. Blood moves smoothly through vessels spared by balanced meals and laughter that punctured decades of stress. Stabilizing muscles, so often ignored by younger walkers, engage to keep posture tall and joints aligned. Scenery turns into living encouragement. A blooming jacaranda releases purple confetti onto the sidewalk. A neighbor waves, secretly inspired by the crisp authority of the stride passing by. Tiny sensory sparks light up cognitive circuits, feeding memory and mood with gentle electricity. Purposeful motion tells nerves to build fresh pathways, guarding against mental decline. Variation polishes the gift. A detour up a modest hill, a loop across lumpy cobblestones, or a quick sidestep to greet a playful dog challenges balance and recruits new muscle fibers. Cresting that incline without breathlessness delivers a quiet triumph. Lungs expanding easily, knees bending freely, eyes scanning distance with unshaken ownership. When drizzle slicks the pavement or a familiar ache suggests rest, the message is heeded. Slowing today protects tomorrow's freedom. After a thoughtful pause, movement resumes, pace steady, spirit reaffirmed. Upon returning home, calves stretch against the hallway wall, hydration cools the throat, and gratitude settles across shoulders like a warm shawl. Consider sprinkling miniature rituals into each outing. Count red doorways, greet a resident sparrow, or notice the pattern of shadows beneath street lamps. These playful observations sharpen attention, bathe the brain in serotonin, and transform an ordinary route into a gallery of stories. The journey does not end at the front gate. It echoes through the day. Groceries feel lighter, stairs seem friendlier, and evening relaxation arrives without the stiffness that once resisted a comfortable chair. Movement performed outdoors invites inner landscapes to expand as well, clearing mental clutter like breeze through open windows and leaving space for new possibilities to bloom. Gracefully, remembering details like names, birthdays, and appointments. Imagine sunlight filtering through leaves at a neighborhood picnic. A new volunteer says hello, and the mind instantly pairs her face with tulips she mentioned planting last spring. Days later, the memory surfaces intact, ready to spark a welcoming comment. This ability to retrieve names, dates, and small stories acts like invisible thread, stitching social fabric tightly and confidently. Healthy memory resembles a well-tended library. Shelves stand straight, dust swept away, and volumes return to assigned positions after each visit. Curiosity keeps the windows open, allowing fresh knowledge to flow in and settle among trusted classics. When a grandchild's piano recital date arrives, it files neatly beside a neighbor's preferred pastry order and the lyrics of a cherished 1960s ballad. Every recall strengthens neural bridges, turning short-term sparks into long-term treasures. Proof appears daily. Doctor appointments occur without phone alarms. Video calls connect at the exact promised hour, and a cousin receives a card that lands precisely on the correct birthday. These gestures weave reliability others cherish while blooming internal pride. Neurologists from the Mayo Clinic report that frequent success with recall can slow cognitive decline dramatically, especially when paired with light physical activity and social engagement. Nurturing this talent demands joyful consistency rather than monumental effort. Word puzzles over morning tea, reciting a poem while watering plants, or challenging a neighbor with a riddle, all bathe the hippocampus in gentle stimulation. Association turns strangers into acquaintances. Meeting someone named Jane may evoke jasmine flowers, while Anwar conjures antique figurines. Playful imagery converts fleeting introductions into vivid souvenirs. Tools remain supportive, yet secondary. A slim notebook or digital calendar acts as a safety net, but the mind continues as a star performer. If a fact slips away, honesty bridges the gap. Requesting a gentle reminder and mentally tagging the detail anew demonstrates grace, not weakness. Consider closing each evening with a gratitude memory review. Speak aloud 3 names, 3 future dates, and 3 charming facts learned during the day. Vibrations travel through vocal cords, reinforcing pathways deeper than silent thought. This ritual transforms toothbrushing minutes into cognitive rehearsal and heartwarming reflection. Memory at this stage becomes more than retention. It is intimacy. Remembering a birthday without prompting whispers, "You matter." Recalling a nurse's name honors her care. Accurate recollection shines like lighthouse beams across social waters, guiding relationships safely home and proving that the mind's corridors remain brightly lit, inviting, and endlessly navigable. Should a detail feel hazy tomorrow, simply revisit context. The scent of tulips, the timbre of a particular laugh, the shade of a sweater worn that afternoon. Sensory hooks tug information upward like lanterns rising through dusk, rewarding diligence with warm connection fulfilled. Sleeping through the night without medication. Twilight settles, curtains dim, and sheets welcome the body like calm surf embracing shoreline sand. Within moments, steady breaths replace daytime chatter, and hours slip by unannounced. No pill bottles clack against the nightstand. No glowing digits torment eyelids at 3 a.m. Instead, dawn arrives refreshed, as though invisible hands rewound each muscle fiber to factory settings. Consistent medication-free slumber after 70 signals harmonized circadian rhythms, balanced melatonin flow, and a mind unburdened by unresolved worry. Researchers with the National Sleep Foundation found that adults enjoying 7 uninterrupted hours display stronger immunity, crisper memory consolidation, and lower blood pressure. Nightly voyages through REM and slow-wave stages function as private spas, soaking cells in restorative chemistry. Ritual prepares passage. A lavender sachet slips beneath the pillow. Instrumental strings murmur at low volume, and a dog-eared mystery novel lulls thoughts into narrative lanes far from rumination. Gentle stretches, raising arms skyward, folding forward, rolling shoulders, invite tension to drip into floorboards like spent rain. These cues whisper to the nervous system, safety reigns, settle in. Morning reveals benefits everywhere. Coffee tastes richer, conversations flow without fog, and misplaced keys inspire curiosity rather than frustration. Easy rest constructs a launch pad for resilience. Friends observing bright energy marvel quietly, unaware of the nightly secret fueling that glow. When intrusive thoughts wander in, headlines, distant family concerns, writing them onto a tomorrow list. Parks, burdens outside the bedroom door. Should thunder rattle windows, practiced breathing guides consciousness back across sleep's threshold like a lighthouse beam over dark water. Sharing these strategies with companions who struggle deepens personal mastery while offering gentle aid. Consider environmental refinements. Dim lights 90 minutes before bed, silence news tickers, keep the bedroom cool, and reserve the mattress exclusively for sleep and comforting intimacy. If external noise persists, a soft fan or white noise device masks disruptions, allowing brainwaves to glide deeper. Occasional restlessness invites kindness, not reprimand. Rising briefly to sip warm milk, then returning to bed with softened focus, honors physiology without surrendering the night. Over weeks, the body relearns ancestral rhythms linked to sunset and dawn, proving that nature's metronome still beats beneath modern distractions. Sleeping soundly without medication is more than luck. It is a craft honed over decades. Each unbroken night writes a love letter to the coming day, promising clarity, vitality, and the quiet assurance that rest remains one of life's sweetest, most hard-earned privileges. Before settling tonight, pause at the window and trace constellations, letting ancient starlight remind the heart of timeless cycles. Whisper gratitude for limbs that softened, lungs that slowed, and dreams that stitched hidden hopes together. Then trust darkness to weave renewal until birdsong greets morning. Enjoying and preparing your own meals daily. The kitchen light flickers on, transforming 4 familiar walls into an art studio scented with possibility. Fingertips press tomatoes for perfect give, olive oil glints like liquid amber, and spices join the air in wisps that awaken appetite before a pan even warms. Cooking daily after 70 proclaims self-reliance and delight, weaving nourishment with creativity. Harvard nutritionists note that older adults who prepare meals at home ingest higher fiber, lower sodium, and a broader spectrum of micronutrients. Yet statistics pale beside living color. Onions singing as they meet hot skillet iron, carrots tapping rhythmic staccato beneath a sharp blade, basil releasing green perfume and the instant leaves bruise. Even washing dishes becomes meditation, warm water carrying fatigue away like river current. Friends may invite evenings out, and shared laughter over restaurant tables is welcome. Yet the stove's soft hum calls. Its quirks are known. The back burner runs hot. The kettle whistles exactly 1 semitone above a beloved childhood hymn. Preparing food lends predictable rhythm to the day. Oat porridge crowned with berries at dawn. Lentil stew brightened by lemon midday. Fish with dill and capers greeting dusk. Stories of culinary generosity shine everywhere. Mrs. Hanif hosts Sunday curry for neighbors, ladling comfort across loss and loneliness alike. A widowed carpenter down the lane bakes sourdough weekly, gifting fragrant loaves to new parents short on sleep. Each saucepan lifted in service echoes shared humanity. Adaptation guards joy. Should wrists tire, a high stool slides beside the counter. Pre-cut vegetables wait in chilled bags. Silicone-handled knives lighten grip. Vision dimming meets brighter bulbs and contrasting cutting boards. Flexibility protects ritual without demanding heroics. Before tasting, pause. Steam coils upward like silken ribbon. Colors settle into edible harmony. The first bite travels from tongue to toes, radiating warmth that flickers behind the sternum. Eating becomes communion with memory. Grandmother's seasoned cast-iron pan, a loved one's laughter echoing across distant summers. Gardens tended decades ago now blooming through flavor. Sprinkle novelty amid routine. Pick up star anise because its shape intrigues. Revive a recipe clipped from a magazine yellowed as autumn leaves. Grind chili just to witness crimson dust swirl. Jot successes and humorous mishaps in a countertop notebook. Pages will thicken into a memoir scented with nutmeg and courage. Daily cooking proves appetite for life remains deliciously undiminished, senses alert, independence intact, and creativity forever simmering beneath the lid. On evenings when solitude looms, set an extra place and dine by candlelight, acknowledging companionship with self as worthy celebration. Soft music fills silence richer than chatter, confirming that flavor still sparks wonder, and tomorrow's ingredients already whisper ideas from the pantry shelves. Maintaining a regular social life. Tuesday bridge, Thursday book circle, and Saturday lunch paint each week with confident strokes of color. Plans patch loneliness before it leaks, mingling purpose with anticipation. A 2024 study in the Lancet Healthy Longevity found that older adults attending weekly social gatherings cut depressive symptoms by nearly 1/3 while sharpening memory measurably. Science echoes what the heart has always known. Shared laughter illuminates rooms faster than electricity. Every encounter is a miniature theater. Greeting the mail carrier by name releases oxytocin that lowers stress hormones. Swapping garden tips with neighbors keeps curiosity sprouting alongside petunias. Technology extends reach. Video calls, virtual choirs, online language circles, while gentle outings like botanical garden walks weave conversation with fresh air. When storms confine indoors, tiny traditions bloom. 5-minute goodnight calls, voicemail poems, or prayer whispered across telephone wires. Scheduling companionship also gives structure to hours that might otherwise sag. Looking forward to stories, board game strategies, or polite disagreements about cinema classics keeps thought agile. Energy matters, so choose gatherings that replenish more than drain. A quiet tea for two may nourish deeper than a bustling reunion. Initiating contact becomes generosity in action. A note that says, "Thinking of soup tomorrow? Join," lifts two spirits at once. Friendships inevitably ebb and flow. When someone drifts, extend a birthday card anyway. Wave when paths cross. Remain open to surprises. A new neighbor might share hummingbird sightings. A library volunteer could recommend a novel that sparks conversation for months. Your social life behaves like a garden. Steady tending ensures blossoms regardless of season. Community involvement multiplies rewards. A memoir writing circle preserves personal history while absorbing diverse life lessons. Volunteering at an animal shelter pairs gentle exercise with tail wag gratitude. Joining a choir synchronizes breath with dozens of voices, exercising lungs and empathy simultaneously. Even strolling a monthly craft market supplies sensory symphonies, bright colors, spice aromas, textured yarns that ignite imagination. Preparation smooths engagement. Choose an outfit the night before, charge the phone, and nestle a compact umbrella into a tote. After returning home, savor echoes of dialogue like mint steeping in warm water. Then jot reflections in a small notebook to reinforce memory pathways. Friendship flourishes on reciprocity. Offer listening ears as eagerly as stories. Compliment a crocheted scarf or applaud light-hearted jokes. Celebrate victories of any scale. Learning a new name, sharing belly-deep laughter, or offering quiet comfort. Each event becomes a constellation in social skies, proving presence still matters and hearts still bloom. During quieter weeks, mail handwritten notes. Ink carries warmth pixels cannot replicate. Surprise an acquaintance with a photograph of last spring's blossoms or a recipe discovered in yesterday's cooking adventure, extending connection beyond schedules. Reading books without struggle. Lamplight pools over crisp pages. Eyes require no magnifier, and focus remains steady through long chapters. Regular reading has been shown by Oxford researchers to slow cognitive decline by nearly a quarter, but statistics hardly capture the enchantment unfolding inside quiet paragraphs. A memoir lends new shoes for empathy. A mystery challenges deduction. A gardening guide whispers hope for spring bulbs yet unseen. Marking resonant lines with a soft pencil keeps dexterity practiced. The subtle scent of paper stirs nostalgia, linking childhood library visits to present comfort. When eyelids tire, closing the book briefly and visualizing the scene allows imagination to steep like tea leaves, deepening recall without strain. E-readers with adjustable fonts offer night-friendly alternatives, ensuring comfort regardless of lighting or print size. Reading also fosters connection. Finishing a sweeping classic inspires hosting informal discussions where neighbors trade interpretations richer than any fence chat. Swapping novels monthly with a friend adds sparkle to conversation, bridging generational gaps through shared wonder. Teaching bursts of insight strengthens memory by moving knowledge from one mental shelf to another. Engage eyes deliberately. Follow the 20-20-20 rule, looking 20 feet away for 20 seconds every 20 minutes, resting ocular muscles. Pair sessions with gentle wrist stretches to maintain joint mobility for page turning. Create sanctuary. A supportive chair, cushion behind the lower back, warm beverage nearby, perhaps instrumental strings playing at barely perceptible volume. Curate variety to cross-train cognition. Alternate dense history with light essays, poetry with science journalism, or biographies with travelogues. Each genre activates different neural corridors, broadening vocabulary and worldview simultaneously. Keep a ledger in each volume's front cover, start date, finish date, top takeaway. Watching entries accumulate offers satisfying proof of intellectual momentum. If vision blurs unforgivingly, adapt without surrender. High contrast large print editions, synchronized audiobook text, or screen readers that relay chapters aloud while eyes rest. Solutions abound. Curiosity remains captain. Visiting the library's surprise bundle service, where staff curate themed envelopes, introduces books that might otherwise remain hidden. Treat every novel as a traveling companion. Notice the scent of toast or distant traffic, underscoring pivotal chapters. Anchor passages to real sensations, so memory can retrieve them later with ease. Create a reading nook that signals sanctuary. Blanket, candle, soft music. 15 uninterrupted minutes compound marvelously across weeks, yielding entire novels where others see only passing days. Honor pauses without guilt. Slip a satin bookmark between pages and promise to return tomorrow. Imagination never retires. It waits politely for invitation. On stormy afternoons, read aloud to houseplants or a purring cat, spoken cadence enlivens prose, turning solitude into vibrant theater. Today, perhaps, managing finances or technology. Confidently. You sit at the kitchen table, tablet propped beside a steaming mug. With a few deliberate taps, the monthly statement appears. Balances reconcile, and an automatic reminder slides into next week's calendar. These actions, simple to observers, reveal cognitive agility, visual coordination, and a fearless stance toward change. Technology shifts like flowing water, yet you wade in rather than remaining on the bank. Stanford researchers observed increased activity in the prefrontal cortex of older adults who regularly learn computer skills. Each time you decode a menu icon or sort a spreadsheet, neurons knit fresh connections, proving plasticity survives beautifully into later decades. Financial literacy offers parallel liberation, identifying essential expenses, trimming forgotten subscriptions, and redirecting savings toward cherished causes keep anxiety low and autonomy high. Picture Mr. Sadiq, an 82-year-old retiree who tracks grocery costs with a color-coded budget app. Any surplus becomes a quiet donation to children's shelters, converting digits into kindness and purpose. Security grows through mindful habits. Before clicking an unfamiliar link, you pause, breathe, and consult the bank's helpline or that tech-savvy grandniece who loves explaining two-factor authentication. Humility forms an invisible safety net, protecting assets and peace of mind without denting confidence. Adaptive tools remove barriers. Larger print keyboards, voice commands that draft emails, styluses shaped for steadier grip, and screen readers that sing text aloud acknowledge changing senses while preserving independence. Each confident click paints a portrait of courage that refuses to grow old. Sharing tips with peers multiplies mastery. Host a small workshop at the library, swap favorite budgeting apps after choir practice, or write step-by-step instructions for neighbors intimidated by online booking. Teaching reinforces learning, and community benefits ripple outward like pebbles dropped in a pond. Set a 10-minute weekly adventure. Explore a new feature, voice dictation, digital coupons, virtual museum tours, and celebrate progress with a satisfied chuckle. Should eyesight blur? Activate dark mode. If fingers ache, slow the pointer speed. Solutions abound, waiting for discovery. Document successes in a small journal. The first time travel was booked online. The evening accounts balanced without a calculator. The moment a grandchild's face lit up as a multiplayer game began. Reading these entries later turns abstract progress into tangible evidence. When glitches arise, the record proves obstacles bow to patience and practice. Financial and technological confidence highlights deeper truth. Curiosity remains alive. Adaptability still pays dividends, and each login opens doors to security, creativity, and connection. Endeavor with hard-earned, unshakable confidence today. Traveling comfortably. Ticket in hand, tote packed, you navigate gates and timetables with calm precision. Whether flying across continents or riding the city tram 2 stops, moving through unfamiliar spaces demonstrates mobility, confidence, and mental clarity in rare harmony. Psychologists at King's College London report that seniors who travel regularly maintain sharper spatial awareness and lower anxiety markers. Preparation crafts ease. Outfits lie folded the night before. Passports rest in a bright pouch. Medications ride in a zippered pocket. This foresight reduces cognitive load, freeing senses to savor experience. Roasted coffee aroma at an airport kiosk. Patterned skylight shadows in the train hall. Multilingual chatter weaving a human tapestry. Micro-adventures prove equally rich. A neighboring town's farmer's market, a riverside picnic, or a sunset drive along a familiar coastal road can refresh perspective without taxing energy reserves. Each departure whispers, "My story continues," while every safe arrival replies, "The world is glad you came." Stories abound of spirited travelers. Ms. Okafor, 75, earned a museum membership mainly for the tram rides there, sketching architecture en route. Her sketchbook thickened alongside her circle of tram seat acquaintances. Your journeys can weave similar friendships. Brief chats with drivers, shared laughter over misplaced luggage, camaraderie formed during weather delays. Adaptation guards comfort. Choose aisle seats for easy stretching, keep hydration handy, and schedule midday rests in shaded parks. If a knee grows tender, shift plans without self-blame. Flexibility is freedom's true companion. Technology helps. Boarding alerts, translation apps, digital maps marking restrooms. Upon returning home, unpack at a gentle pace, stretch calves, and note highlights in a travel journal. Writing seals memories into long-term storage and prepares imagination for the next venture. The miles may change, yet an adventurous spirit keeps gathering sky in its pockets. Before setting out again, perform a gentle checklist while sipping water. Weather forecast, comfortable shoes, identification, emergency contacts, light snack, and a keepsake pouch for postcards. This mindful pause reduces surprises and anchors intention. En route, practice window mindfulness by naming 3 colors, 3 shapes, and 3 scents at each transfer point. The exercise keeps senses alert and mind anchored in present wonder. Conclude every journey with a gratitude stretch, a quiet breath beneath returning doorstep twilight softly, caring for others. Sunlight spills across a living room rug, illuminating a puzzle half-finished by grandchildren returning this afternoon. A missing corner piece is found under the sofa, and a smile follows. Small acts revealing a heart still oriented outward. Routine caregiving signals emotional resilience and physical stamina, whether cooking soup for a recovering neighbor or guiding a spouse's hand down the steps. Gerontologists at the University of Tokyo found that elders engaged in light caregiving, reading to children, walking dogs for friends, experience heightened purpose scores and reduced inflammatory biomarkers. Helping releases endorphins, balances cortisol, and embeds each day with meaning beyond personal maintenance. Kindness becomes reciprocal exercise, Lifting grocery bags tones arms. Remembering medication schedules sharpens cognition. Stories stretch across cultures. Mr. Zhang, 81, rises at dawn to walk the guide dog he trains for a veteran. Mrs. Diaz, 76, hosts Story Saturdays, trading screen time for fairy tales. These commitments enrich rather than deplete. You may echo the rhythm, folding linens for a convalescing friend or lending an empathetic ear over evening tea. Balance remains essential. Listen to bodily cues, an ache, a flicker of fatigue, and request assistance when needed. Setting boundaries sustains the longevity of generosity. Think of it as gardening. Water flowers, step into shade when noon sun bears down, then return rejuvenated. Blend care with companionship. Bake together so wrists and hearts share work, or co-garden where conversation sprouts alongside seedlings. Shared tasks minimize dependent stigma while maximizing joy. Technology bridges distance. Video bedtime stories, voice messages filled with jokes, or remote prayer circles. Kindness travels farther than any measured step. Reflect each evening on assistance offered and received. Record 3 moments that lifted someone's spirit, however tiny. This habit spotlights impact, feeds gratitude, and prevents compassion from slipping into autopilot. Should distance separate loved ones, schedule recurring digital visits. Seeing familiar smiles keeps empathy vivid and motivation strong. By staying available to others, worth is declared not by youth, but by compassion's steady flame. Each glass of water offered, every gentle reminder delivered, proves that age can widen, not narrow, the circle of care. Consider joining a community mentoring program, where years of honed skills guide younger hands through carpentry, language practice, or music scales. Watching confidence ignite behind fresh eyes while personal expertise flexes keeps intellect sharp and spirit buoyant. Mentoring widens social circles, ensuring help flows both directions. Today's advice may inspire tomorrow's surprise assistance. Such reciprocal currents make compassion a renewable resource, endlessly available to everyone. After all, compassion remains the most enduring measure of a life well lived. You have just walked through 9 radiant markers of thriving life after 70, abilities that reveal heart, mind, and spirit, still dancing in step. Whether you recognized one, several, or all of these signs within yourself, remember that every glimmer reflects hard-won wisdom and enduring strength. Guard these gifts gently, nurture them with kindness, and share their light with others who may still be searching for their own spark. May every stride, memory, restful night, and act of care remind you that your story remains vibrantly unfinished. If this reflection warmed your heart, consider passing it along to a friend who could use the encouragement. Connection only makes these gems shine brighter. Until next time, may peace settle over your evenings, purpose greet your mornings, and may you always know just how rare and treasured you truly are.